I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were doing our business cards, how mine were colorful at first. I
Yeah.
didn't know what my target niche and my passion and what my goal was on this earth to do, right?
Mm.
So I did focus on the gang area for a little bit. Then I focused on I can't breathe. Oh my gosh, George Floyd, right? And I'm like, so- then I'm like, can I be a president? Let me be a president then. Let me be a mayor. I'm like, politics. Ah,
Yeah.
Yeesh. Ah. Then I'm like, but I can inspire and motivate and empower. I can see the little bit of somebody and I can see not the potential, because that means you're standing still. I can see your kinetic energy. I can sell you. And I'm going to find out the ways, the 5 ways how to sell you. That's who, what, where, when, why, how. We learned this from our journal dude. What was his name, by the way, Zach?
He knows him better than I do.
The journalism teacher,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Buck, Howard Buck.
Hey,
I don't know.
Mr. Buck,
Cool
shouts
dude.
out to you. I take
Oh,
your
are you talking
process.
about the Punisher?
He's
That was
bald.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin was the Punisher.
Yeah.
But no, what I was gonna say, and side note, we got to get Kevin on the podcast because he's fucking hilarious.
If you can
But
get him.
He's amazing. Shouts out to Kevin. I utilize his process in every single thing I do, and I think about him every single day, bro. So shouts out. We got to get him on the podcast.
But I think when you're talking about politics, bro, for real, you come into the room, like especially in school. I always describe myself. I was like a badass Ferris Bueller. You know what I mean? And Craig came in like a fucking sitcom. Like, you know when someone walks in the room and there's applause or some shit? Like, there's like a reaction and they're just doing their shit, bro. You would come in like fucking JJ and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there was a whole...
He had his
like,
peacoat every day, camera around his neck, nice shoes.
Yeah, and people would... Like, you would announce your own title. Like, people don't understand this. You would come in and be like, Craig Doby, digital producer. Like, you would say it when you go in the fucking room. And, like, that shit used to kill me. But I get it now. And it's funny, like, we don't understand these smaller phases. And I think maybe, like, in the business card realm, right? When you were designing it, it was kind of like all those different colors. It was a metaphor. Because what you were doing was taking a little bit over here, a little bit over here, and
Right.
really making life vibrant. You know, you were just displaying vibrant life.
Got it. Yeah.
Like through who you are and trying to get the best out of someone else to bring it through your work, you know? And Zach knows your work way more intimately than I do. I would come through and I'd be like, it looks good. Or I'd come through and be like, no, bro. And I give you a whole fucking essay about some shit. I give you a lecture and just start preaching at you. But Zach literally, we have an interesting relationship, right? And Zach, I'll let you describe how you and Craig work together because it's literally outside of me. I'll be doing my 9 to 5 or whatever, and Zach and Craig will have a whole other like video, and Zach will be like, "Oh yeah, I was just editing this video that was overflow because like Craig's got so much work. You know what I mean? His workload is massive for all that he does. So you guys can put on that for a little bit because I think the people need to know what happens behind the scenes.
I mean, like,
Help, Zach. That's what that sounds
yeah,
like.
dude. Hold on, I can open up my fucking text, and it's like, hold on, it's this motherfucker 2 days ago. He says, I need help, boss. First of all, I get a missed phone call, and he's like, I need help, boss. And then I call him back. I'm like, what's up? What's happening, playa? And so, yeah, and then he sends me the project. He tells me what needs to be done, any special effects that need to be had, and then fucking sends it over, and I bust it out as fast as I can.
See, I can say that, like, I'm the Don, but secretly, Zach is, like, the engine. He's a workhorse, too. Like, I call Zach, too, when I need some help with some shit. I'm like, Zach, I'll give Zach the craziest idea, though. It's totally different. You'll hand him a file, right? I'll just call Zach and throw him I'll be like, Zach, I got it.
Yeah, he'll talk to me for an hour straight about this idea, bro. It would be like nonstop. I'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm just listening to this idea, bro.
You know,
That's
the beauty
crazy.
though is like I see what you're doing. Even like you're wearing your own shirt, right? So like Zach and I have dabbled in clothing. We've dabbled here and there, right? And I see like you've on a solo dolo tip have done the same thing, and you've touched so many lives just by your willingness to like go out there and get it. And I want to ask you something on about your journey, right? By giving you a little bit of mine. Like my perspective for a long time was like, oh, if I just get on this person's team because I know exactly where they need to go, right? Hopefully they'll turn around because they don't realize the resource that they are to me, right? And they'll bless me back. And it was the wrong way of going about it because for my younger years, it was like I would put myself down here and put people up here on a pedestal and look at people as opportunities in a sense, not like wholeheartedly, like I wasn't being genuine, but there was a secret agenda behind everything, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted to get up here so we could be peers because I saw us as peers, but I thought you didn't see me the way I saw you. You feel me?
Correct. Yep.
And that really shaped my whole brand building concept. You know, how did that
That's
happen
good.
for you?
That's bro. That's really good because you're not alone on that. Everybody wants that. Every artist that I work with has that problem. They want everybody to support them, but they're not getting it. So that's the reason why in my artist academy, Crag Doby Artist Academy, the culture is that's what I'm working on instilling and inculcating into my artists as well. Is we have to give before we receive, and it's not an intent behind it. You know what I mean? I think that's where when we have the intent behind it, and it's not for actually just I'm just helping you out. That is it, right? Not but actually for a return, right? When you want something expected out of it, that's where it gets muddy. But if you're just like, I'm just doing this for the earth, right? You going outside, you picking up a piece of trash, you just throw it away. Nobody's gonna give you an award or anything like that. It's just you, it's your integrity, right? So that's what it comes down to. I think that kind of helped me. Like lately, what I've been practicing is I've been studying I studied the Buddhism for like maybe like 2 days. 2 days. Yeah, I can think of it going in
It's like
depth.
I
I'm like
started reading a book.
Your eightfold path was like 2 steps.
2 days. That's it. Okay, I know when they wake up and I know maintain. All right. I'm
As
so
long
good.
as you cherry pick, you know. What'd you glean from that though? What'd you take from it?
Buddhism, chinchillas. Let's go. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what. But yeah, no, that's what I was just saying. Just always checking with your intent behind it, right? And so now what my process is, what I've been working on is strictly just giving, right? Anybody that I work with, if it's from a business owner, if it's from an artist, I do go ahead and go through their profile. I do take that. It's work. It's work. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this again? Why am I doing this again? Oh, because people are interesting, and because when we become vulnerable, like you just
Hmm.
did, it's going. And while you this is recorded, it's going to be able to be it's dispersed, and it brings value to people. That's why we want to be able to help people and push other people because we never know what how much it means to them, right? And I say the small things always make the big impacts. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's just always good intent, bro. I think you're I've never sensed it from you that you wanted to do something. And I probably get this is for everybody, you know what I mean? Just I think we probably do think like, damn, I do want something out of it. But there's a part of you that does want to just do it without anything out of it. But um, I think there's a thought process that we do just got to actually take out and replace it with a good thought with it to knowing why you're doing it. If that
It
makes
it's a level of like you used a good word in integrity. But I want to say it's almost like I wasn't malicious in my intent, you know,
yeah,
but it's
correct.
still it wasn't pure because like what I love about this podcast is really I realized I'm the center point of meeting a lot of dope ass people, but
Correct.
I don't need to be the dope ass person. I know I'm dope as fuck, you know?
Correct.
And it took a long time for me to get that level of confidence because I know so many cool people, point A, and point B, like, um, sometimes it's like, all right, in the story of Moses, right? Moses learned all his shit in the desert, right? In the wilderness. And here's an interesting thing about Hebrew, right? The Hebrew word for wilderness translates to the place that you meet God, right? And in the story of Moses, right, that's where he got all of his powers, like, and where he understood what his purpose was, you know? And so I think in life we go through this journey that's like very it's a metaphor, you know, it's very similar to that we get lost and we find ourselves in our lostness, you know, once we encounter our purpose.